Well, she's the woman who the world would come to know as Cocaine Cassie. In 2017, Cassandra Sainsbury was arrested at Eldorado International Airport in Bogotá. The fitness instructor from Adelaide was carrying 5.8 kilograms of cocaine in her luggage. She spent 3 years behind bars.
Now, the convicted drug smuggler is turning the page with a bombshell tell-all memoir, promising to set the record straight in an uncensored account of her time locked away in a notorious Colombian prison.
And Cassandra Sainsbury joins us live from Adelaide. Morning. Nice to see you, Cassie.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So many words written about you, so many news stories. How important was it for you to take control of your story now at this stage?
It was probably the most important thing that has been really close to me for some time now. Obviously, I have watched the media and everything being said now for 7 years. So to have the ability to take it back and tell everyone and everything that actually happened from get-go with nobody interrupting me, that was so important to me.
Hey, Cassie, we've heard you say this a lot over the years. You've always said, I'm not Cocaine Cassie, I'm Cassandra Sainsbury. So, given that's the title of the book, is that going to make the whole Cocaine Cassie thing even harder for you to shake in the future?
I think when I was trying to get rid of that name, I was still dealing with some of my own personal issues towards the name. Now, taking back the name and using it as, obviously, that is what I'm known for, but let's get the record straight of why I'm known for it. And I think I've come to accept the name. Still don't like it. It's not my favourite, but I'm okay with it because it's not who I am, if that makes sense.
Okay. How do you think people will perceive you or do perceive you now then, Cassie?
I find that anybody who's actually had the chance to get to know me, have a conversation, or even just watching me grow throughout these years, know that I'm not the person I was back then. I'm not the person that I've been portrayed in the media. And I hope that people are actually willing to read the book, give it a chance, and hopefully understand what it's really like to go through those situations and how I ended up there.
Cassie, your story has always intrigued us all. Your arrest triggered this massive media circus. Take us through that first 24 hours. Were you aware of just how big the story was back here at home and what people were saying, what the papers, the radio, TV stations were saying?
No, I wasn't. I do remember one of the first things I ever said to my mum, I said, I don't want this in the media. This doesn't need to be in the media. And then all of a sudden, I was called into the office by one of the prison guards and they're like, why is all this media here? And I was like, I don't know. And it was pretty much something I never wanted to be, was in the spotlight, something I struggle with.
It's the price, unfortunately, that you now have to pay for the rest of your life, right?
Yes.
Whether you like that or not. Any of us who have seen a movie or watched a mini-series featuring a jail in Colombia think we know what it would be like. But can you tell us just what it is like and some of the stories of survival, I guess, that you had to endure in jail?
I think prison in Colombia, it's not like anything you could even imagine. There's no rules. The guards, they're as bad as the inmates, to be honest. So whether you try to seek acceptance or help from anyone, it's impossible to escape the gruesome things that really do happen. And in the book, I really go into detail about every horrible little thing that happened to me in those walls.
Cassie, you're talking about violence, horrible abuse and even rape. How hard was it to sit down and relive that and write those words again?
It took me 4 years to do it, and I rewrote it so many times because I just kept trying to say something without actually going into detail about it, because it's very personal. It's horrible what happened to me, and to finally accept it and be able to write it down and know, people are going to read it and be okay with that. I think that's a huge sign of acceptance of what has happened and moving forward from it.
What did you have to do to survive in there, Cassie? Probably things you never thought you would have ever had to have done. Did you have to find a way to survive?
I think the way I managed to get through it was to find a good purpose in everything that was happening. So I focused a lot on trying to help inmates and be around people that I could support a little bit more. One thing that really helped me get through it was that I could be going through a very hard time, but somebody always had it a lot worse than I did. And that was saying a lot considering I was going through a really bad time. So I focused on helping, giving back, and keeping out of trouble. Keeping out of trouble.
Hey, what does life look like for you now? You're living in Adelaide?
Yes, I live in Adelaide. I'm self-employed, I keep to myself, have a very nice, quiet little life, out of the spotlight. And it's just nice to be able to put it past me and move forward. I'm a different person because of it, but I'm also a better person.
Well, the book makes for some fascinating reading. Thank you so much for sharing your story this morning. The new book is called Cocaine Cassie, Setting the Record Straight. That's what the cover looks like, and it is out tomorrow.